is a highly disturbing film hailing from the depraved depths of the dark web. Snuff R73 contains 3 hours of uncut CP and hardcore content, even containing footage from Daisy's destruction. As you may recall from my Great Fetish Iceberg, Daisy's destruction is one of the most brutal and vile pieces of child abuse content to be posted onto the internet. Snuff R73 is near impossible to find, but according to the few who have seen it, it truly lives up to the many disturbing rumors surrounding its content. Could Snuff R73 be the holy grail of disturbing media? The answer may surprise you, because interestingly, the paragraph I just read to you is nothing but absolute fucking bullshit.
Holy shit. Sorry for that whole bit. I just wanted to join in on the Mama Max dog pile while the iron's still hot. Regardless, that probably went on for a little too long. Sorry in advance for that. Good morning, my children. My name is Eros, and as you can see, this is the first video to be recorded outside of my mom's house. Now we are in a dorm setting, if you couldn't hear already. This week we are going to be looking into another deep web urban legend known as Snuff R73. Today we are also going to be making fun of the deep web urban legend known as Snuff R73 because, spoiler alert, R73 is nothing but another weird CP myth perpetuated by edgelords. Snuff R73 was apparently made by a circle jerk of guys who wanted to get brownie points through being edgy. The supposed reason these hyper-masculine twinks in denial made this film was to gawk at and
rejoice in the darker parts of the world.
The legend of Snuff R73 goes all the way back to 2015, but only started to gain notoriety in about 2021 or so, when my favorite YouTuber, Wendigoon, unintentionally put a new spotlight on it in his disturbing movie Iceberg.
Snuff R73 is really weird as pretty much no one talks about it.
I love you, Wendigoon, but that being said, you did kind of butcher this one. I still love you though. Anyways, thanks to Wendigoon, new eyes were on Snuff R73, and people were hunting for it like a shark after it smells blood. The film itself has been referred to as a Mondo film on some occasions, but over time, the majority have agreed that it just does not deserve to have that title. While the actual R73 film doesn't contain any CP, it does contain a lot of child gore, ranging from just brutal injuries to just outright child corpses. Regardless, this film is supposedly just medical gore from a Syrian war, I think. As I found out while researching, nobody can agree on what's in this movie. There's a 10-minute version of this film that is the medical child gore I just mentioned, and then the second version of this film is apparently just a watered-down version of another mixtape referred to as MD Pope 2. Pretty much all I've gathered from this weird fucking suck of who's right and who's wrong is that any disturbing media urban legend that comes from Reddit first, it's most likely going to be bullshit. Now, the original legend states that Snuff R73 does come from the 8chan forums. It's like an offshoot of 4chan. But the thing is, there's no archives of it. And it's like a little bit too coincidental because the CP version of Sad Satan was able to have its post archived. So I feel like something like this in the same realm as the CP version of Sad Satan would kind of get the same treatment. There's the medical gore compilation and then the MD Pope version, but there's also apparently a 3-hour version that has the CP and the Daisy's destruction video in it. Very obviously, that 3-hour version of the film is just bullshit. So what does the actual Snuff R73 contain? To be honest, I don't fucking know. That being said, I'm not denying that the MD Pope and the child gore copies, they don't exist. They definitely exist. They're out in the world. You can see them on Reddit. But the thing is, I personally can't be the one that decides which of these two is the real Snuff R73. Because to make things even more complicated, the child gore version of Snuff R73 is apparently another film made by these Twinkies referred to as necropedophiliac, if that didn't sound edgy enough. In the end, all this proves is that anything surrounding the legend of Snuff R73 is just a weirdly giant, overly complicated game of telephone. I had to acknowledge this point at some point in one of these videos. If you ever decide to do your own research into a topic like this, you are going to find two kinds of people in the comments section. As I've mentioned with Sad Satan, you are going to find people claiming that they are the most disturbed person on planet Earth, no pun intended, for creating or just having access to this kind of content. As a self-proclaimed edgelord myself, sorry for saying that. I gotta say, holy fuck are these people dense. Like, it's definitely possible to have a dark sense of humor. Personally, I have a dark sense of humor, sorry for saying that too. But it's like, these people aren't saying it to be funny. And if they are, it's falling harder than a 9/11 jumper. I joke about a lot of fucked up things to this day. I still do it. I'm willing to admit I'm a pretty immature person. But regardless, kids and animals are always going to be the two things I refuse to touch. Literally and comedically speaking. That doesn't count. Meanwhile, these people are out here bragging about owning content that's potentially highly illegal, like they just discovered Jesus Christ's foreskin. On top of that, there's a whole other side of this coin where there's just people that are on their knees begging for a link to this kind of shit. Like, I understand. Morbid curiosity. It's an interesting vice. It's one of the core reasons why I love Mondo films. But it's a little sketchy when that morbid curiosity kicks in when in context to stuff like CP. When you read a majority of these comments that are like searching for any breadcrumb of a link, it sounds less like morbid curiosity and more like they might want to get off to the stuff that they're looking for if it turns out to be legit. But in the end, this is just a small tangent because no matter what, you're always going to just find these kind of people when you're looking at stuff like this. Any kind of weird shock thing that comes up on the internet, anyone claiming to think that they're so hardcore for watching this kind of shit. In fact, I almost included a whole other example in this video. There's potentially a music album out there referred to as Pseudo-Scorpion that's out in the world and contains a lot of audio from hurtcore content, including Daisy's Destruction. Yes, once again, this goddamn film shows up in another weird, disturbing media thing. The alleged cover for this album is also rumored to be a screen grab from an actual video from a CP film. So, if that turns out to be the case, I'm going to heavily blur it when I show it on screen right here. There's not a lot of info on this album outside of the information I just gave you, but the supposed creator behind this album is referred to as Zenjin, and as of right now, Pseudo-Scorpion is considered lost media. It should stay that way. And with that, that is all the information I have on Snuff R73. This time around, it wasn't really hard finding information. It was more hard trying to pick a reliable fucking source for this kind of topic. After this video, I'm definitely going to try to give you guys a palate cleanser of sorts. Don't exactly know what yet, but I definitely don't want to talk about something that is CP related. That being said, the palate cleanser might just be a fucked up murder case. I don't really know. As of right now, I'm still trying to even just figure out how this video making process goes when I'm on campus. It turned out moderately well. It's really echoey in here, so you're going to hear that in these dorm videos. I can't exactly record on a whim like I did with the Fetish Iceberg Quadrilogy and the other two videos in between. Until the semester's over, I gotta start recording shit on a schedule, and I really have to juggle that with my video production homework. So I'm sorry if stuff in between these videos is like film student content. I paid money to go here, so I gotta really prioritize my education. Also, I'm on academic probation, so I have to do good here. But that is all I have to say for this video. Hope you guys like this one. I hope you guys can bear with me for the rest of the semester. I think that's all I have to say. I'll see you all around. Love you all. Oh, give me this. Oh, I'm burping. It's coming. It's coming.